KRCR News Channel 7 at 5:30. Get the facts right.
Just one sexual assault on a college campus is too many. State lawmakers are looking at a new law they think will help. Good evening. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Mike Mangus.
I'm Jennifer Scarborough. This proposed law is designed to redefine consent. The legislation has been proposed by Democratic State Senator Kevin De Leon of Los Angeles. It requires those who investigate sexual assaults on college campuses to seek out whether or not there was, quote, affirmative consent. In other words, the person must actually say yes. Being silent or just not resisting is not considered enough to be consent. It also means that a victim cannot give consent while they are drunk. It applies to all colleges and universities that accept state money for financial aid. It passed in the state assembly, heads back to the Senate for final approval. Now, KRCR News Channel 7's Tyler May asked students at Chico State if this bill is necessary and how law enforcement is going to enforce it. He joins us live in our Chico newsroom with more. Tyler.
Jennifer, good evening. Supporters of this bill, if it does pass, will hold all colleges and universities accountable for sexual assaults on and off their campuses. Now, if they don't do anything about it, they will not receive any funding from the state. Now, Chico State says they are ahead of the game. They adopted rules like those in legislation last semester. And some students that I spoke with today said they do see college students engaging in sexual activity while under the influence. And there are mixed feelings of whether this law is the right thing to do.
Partying goes on at Chico State, like many college campuses around California. And where you find students drinking, you often also find them engaging in intimate behavior.
The apartments I live in, I hear like a lot of that going on. Like when I hear people partying, there's definitely not consent a lot of the time, like once people are drinking.
Some students say they understand what lawmakers are trying to do, but that taking away a person's ability to give consent while under the influence is going too far.
At that point, maybe you shouldn't be coming on to somebody if you don't know them that well.
That person should be with people that they trust while they're drinking out in public, and they should be aware of their surroundings, but I don't think it's right that they can take advantage of those types of situations as well.
Chico State, though, is taking the same hard line as lawmakers, telling incoming freshmen and transfer students that intoxicated people cannot give consent to sexual activity, and that not saying no isn't enough. Like the title of the law says, only yes means yes.
Just because somebody remains silent doesn't mean that they're consenting. Body language does not equal consent.
Now, North State Assemblyman Dan Logue, who does represent Chico, voted against this bill. Now, we tried calling him and his office to reach out for a comment, but they did not return any of our calls. We also reached out to State Senator Jim Nielsen to weigh on this topic, but neither he or his office returned any of our phone calls. We're live in our downtown Chico newsroom. Tyler May, KRCR, News Channel 7.
All right, thank you, Tyler. U.S. Senator Barbara Boxer is working to make college campuses safer. In a statement today, Boxer said, quote, as our students return to campus, they're counting on their universities to not only educate them, but also to protect them. Senator Boxer introduced the SOS Campus Act with Congresswoman Susan Davis in July. That legislation would require every college that receives federal funding to designate an independent advocate for campus sexual assault prevention and response. That advocate would be responsible for ensuring that survivors of sexual assault, regardless of whether they decide to report the crime, have access to emergency and follow-up medical care, guidance on reporting assaults to law enforcement, medical forensic or evidentiary exams, crisis intervention, ongoing counseling and assistance throughout the entire process, as well as information on their legal rights. The advocate will also conduct a public information campaign on campuses.